What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's going to be more on the personal side of things because I kind of want to give you guys the sort of background on who I am and what I'm all about. A lot of you are curious about the whereabouts of who I am, which is why I have the My Story series on my channel. I feel like my story is like my sort of thing. Consider this a prelude to My Story Part 3 because a lot of what you guys are going to be finding out today leads up to the main portion of My Story Part 3 and how I changed as a person and how this particular moment in my life really changed how I looked at other people for what I presume is the rest of my life, because I still haven't seen a change in basically, for example, I'm not the kind of person to take jokes very lightly. I take everything pretty seriously, and I know some people say, dude, you gotta let yourself go, you have to kind of let loose a little bit, joke around, and that's cool, you know. There's a moment to joke around and there's a moment to be serious when it comes to me. So like when we're talking about something that's kind of on a serious note and somebody throws a joke around, I get offended. But again, all of that is going to be explained in this video. I'm going to go and make a drive to my old middle school. And the reason why I'm doing that today is because, and I'm going to link this down in the description, because there's a new principal for the school. And I saw this video that my parents had shared with me. I assume that it's from Facebook. That this principal came in, made my elementary school the best school in the county, right? And he took a laid-back approach to the whole thing. And he's gonna do the same thing to my middle school. And my elementary school didn't affect me as much as middle school, and I'm gonna explain why when I get there. But I'm going to be on the way there to talk to this principal and really get to know him and thank him for everything that he's doing, and kind of share with him why I'm supportive of what he's doing. So I'm gonna head on over to the middle school. I'll catch you guys there. If I can film inside the building or not, I don't know, but I'm gonna ask him first obviously. So again, this is a prelude to My Story Part 3. This is nothing car related, so if you're here for the car stuff, go check out my channel. I have plenty of content down below about car stuff. This is not going to be car related, so if you want to know a little bit of my personal side, stick around. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video. So this is going to be a little bit homemade, a little bit, you know, whatever. So I'm going to get going before I have to go to work. I have to go to work at 1 o'clock. So I want to kind of make this quick, so let's hit the road. Well, we're here. See if I can zoom in there. That's it. This is the school. I got a lot of memories here, but not a lot of them are good, so it's been a long time since I've even walked through those doors. And quite honestly, it kind of turns my stomach, so I'm gonna head inside. I'm gonna see if the principal's there. I'm gonna talk to him, and then we'll see if he's comfortable with the camera around. And if he's not, I'll catch up with you guys later. But we'll see what happens.
Boys and girls, I brought you all in here because I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. There's people that talk about you that don't even know you. You know what they say? There's lots of fights There's lots of trouble. Well, we're going to change that.
My name is Hamish Brewer, and I am not your typical principal. I'm trying to change the game for principals. You know, what's funny is I've always seen myself as an educational disruptor because I was so frustrated with the way education's been done for so long. I think I was just on a mission to disrupt the norm. It's so important to have buy-in from the community because that's what's going to move the needle forward. If we don't have buy-in, nothing changes.
How you doing? Good to see you. Is this your guy?
Yes.
I am Mr. Brewer, your new principal, and I am super excited to be the new principal, the new director here at Fred Lynn Middle School! Yes! Woo!
If we can help people grow or help people be the change or evolve to that place, then we've helped all kids. You know, it's got to be beyond just what we did here at Occoquan or Fred Lynn. The ultimate goal is to help all kids. All kids deserve this, you know?
So as you see, guys, this is the new mural they have here. This was in the video, but they got Barack Obama, they got Martin Luther King. This is a brand new, like, just completely flip around on the school,
That's the truth.
It's incredible. So, I mean, I'm here with the principal right here, right now. I'm gonna have a few words with him. I'm gonna leave that off camera. But just to show you guys how much this school has improved, he actually has a office out here in the hallway to interact with students.
That's right.
That is a huge jump and a huge difference. But anyways, guys, so I'm gonna have a word with him real quick because I know he's got stuff to do. So give me just a sec. Check out this mural. Not seen on that video on Facebook, all over Facebook. This mural is incredible. This is absolutely, it's emotional for me. Honestly, guys, it really is.
Jeez, where do I begin? Well, for the most part, again, this is more of a personal side of things, but way back when I attended Fred Lynn, basically that middle school, it was, like I said, it was one of the worst schools in the county by far. And you know, my sister used to go there, straight A student from 6th to 8th grade, and the expectations were just so high that when her little brother came in, all teachers and staff expected me to do pretty much almost a mirror image of what she did. Obviously, everybody's different, and that wasn't the case. You know, she was quiet. She was very kept to herself, as opposed to me, who is always active, and I always chose to be a little bit more social than most people. You know, throughout the years at Fred Lynn, I can easily say that, you know, bullying, yes, it exists in almost every school setting, but with Fred Lynn it was very different. With Fred Lynn it was more of a eat or be eaten kind of mentality. It's so bad, it was so bad to the point where the teachers really couldn't do much. And all the teachers could do was write down the students' names on pieces of paper, hand them out to both kids, suspend them for a few days, but it still didn't solve the problem because kids would come back and, you know, ultimately they would still, it's like a badge of honor, you know, to get suspended and things like that. It was awful. It's not just parents who are believing in you, Mr. Brewer. It's the old students. Unfortunately, as a parent, you know, I can imagine that with the reputation that Fred Lynn has, you hear about your kid, he's going to Fred Lynn, you know, that's, in my opinion, I feel like that's the worst things in the world because, you know, with the reputation that the school has, and now it's, you know, these kids have this wonderful opportunity, and ultimately, Mr. Brewer, and I know I didn't mention this with you in the meeting that we had, but give these kids the opportunity that I didn't have. When I went to school, it was not just all education, it was trying to really survive the emotional traumatization that's been put on my shoulders for years. You know, it's like I had mentioned that I have to take jokes seriously. You know, kids are always making jokes about me and things like that, and usually people say, oh, it's nothing, you know, it's middle school name calling and things like that, but in this case it wasn't, man. It's like the bullying that you see in the movies. It's incredible. But to see that Mr. Brewer is taking that extra step to really change that, and not only to change that aspect of it, but to change the education aspect of it, and changing the way that things are done, I think it's ultimately the most wonderful thing anybody could ever do. It's great to know that right now these kids are getting an opportunity, and the opportunity that again, I never had. Well, to kind of give you a backstory of my experience and kind of give you a little bit of a tidbit of how things were, the worst case I could ever remember. Getting in a fight in locker rooms was very common. The PE teacher would never see it. I was so stressed and so emotionally awestruck that I had a giant headache at the end of the day. And I remember going to the nurse's office and calling my mom and saying, "Mom, please pick me up." And not only because of the fact that I had a giant headache, but just because of the fact that I just didn't want to be there. And when I went back into my social studies class to wait for my mom, and I remember this quite vividly. Somebody shouted something offensive to me, and I'm not really going to say what it is, but I went over there and I wailed on him like 2 or 3 times, and he picked me up and threw me onto one of the bookshelves. That's when the officer of the school came running in, and he literally said, and I quote, "Who's going to jail today?" You never want to hear an officer say that, honestly, because, I've been in that office many times, and ultimately the security director, Mr. Williams, who used to work there, he ultimately told my mother that, your kid's it's too common for your kid to come in here in cases like this. Your kid's gonna have to go to a different school next year. And ultimately my mom, she was very awestruck, and ultimately she wasn't really surprised either. But thankfully we moved up the street from the apartment I used to live in. We moved up to a townhouse, and with the way the zoning works, it moved me from going from Fred Lynn to Woodbridge. So I wasn't going to see Fred Lynn anymore for my 8th grade year, and ultimately things were much better then. But that doesn't go without saying that I am permanently scarred, physically and emotionally, from my experience at Fred Lynn, and ultimately I was negatively traumatized. And I told Mr. Brewer this when I walked out. I said, I never thought I would be roaming these halls again. I ultimately told myself after I left 7th grade, I said, I hope to God I never have to come into the school again. After seeing the video, and ultimately I got emotional when I saw this girl named Natasha that I used to know in the video. When I saw her, just to see that she's still there, that she's active for whatever reason. She's there and she's believing in this principle as much as I am, I'm sure. Ultimately, I kind of wanted to tell Mr. Brewer, if you're watching this, that, again, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to have a conversation with you today and to sort of share with my subscribers a little bit of my personal side. Because ultimately at the end of the day, you gave me hope, and you were able to help me close that Fred Lynn chapter on a very positive note. It's a hell of a difference to see the attitude that Mr. Brewer has with his kids. It's incredible, and he brought School of Excellence awards to my old elementary school. Once again, thank you, Mr. Brewer. Thank you for the parents who support this movement. I think that it's not just the parents. It's really not. You're talking to an alumni from Fred Lynn Middle, so, once again, to all those kids who bullied me and called me a nobody and said I was going to be nobody in life and said I was, I wasn't going to be known for doing anything. I can easily say that that's not true. I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but if I have 1,300 subscribers and I'm slowly growing, that means I'm doing something right. The video that was produced by an amazing production company, by the way, gained over 14 million views, and that put Fred Lynn on the map. Not just in Virginia, but nationwide. That means Mr. Brewer is doing something right. So we all believe in you, Mr. Brewer. We all do. And hopefully to my subscribers, it's a little bit something different for you. And with all that being said, here's my outro, and I'll catch you guys later. All right. That was an emotional roller coaster. That's for sure. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video. I know it's a little bit different. I know it's not car related, but a little bit about me that you guys may have been curious about. So leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know. And again, this has been your boy God of Maliga. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Down inside of the description below. This has been your boy, and I'm out. Peace.